well. It sounds like some people can hear me. Uh, yeah, so I had a problem this week, and microphone just kind of died on me. Um, Never a good thing. I did happen to have a backup microphone, though. Just needed a little tweaking, apparently. Apparently. Well, let's see what we got here. Of course, now my overlay is all messed up. Fun, fun. Well, this was just going to be kind of a casual stream tonight, going over some stuff I picked up in the last week. Stuff in the mail, a few things I picked up for budget gaming I'd like to go over with. And wow, not exactly sure why that video source is like that, but okay. Let's see if we can fix that. Let's see. We'll just turn that off. That'll work. So yes, Talisman, indeed. I ordered this over 6 months ago, and it finally came in. The COVID issue really slowed things down coming in from outside the U.S., but it's here, and it's a beautiful book. Hardback, color pages, and they got a crew together that's interested in playing this on Sundays, possibly, Fridays, possibly. Right now I've got 3 or 4 people that are going to do a 3-week test of this on our BX Fridays. So that'll be getting to the table soon. Nice game. Uses 3d6 for the most part. Has some interesting mechanics. You sum the 3 dice. One of the 3 dice is what they call the Kismet dice. It gets summed in with everything else, but if you roll a 1 or a 6, special things happen. Rolling doubles. Like so, out of your 3 dice, if 2 of them match and you make the success rate, it makes it a better success. If all 3 match, it makes it a great success. Simple mechanic, but a lot of fun. So, Talisman. That was an early in the week mail call run. Also got, let's see if we can steady that camera a little bit better. Tiny Cthulhu. Another rendition of Cthulhu. Mythos has been used in a lot of systems. It's pretty popular now, I guess, since it went into the public domain. More freely accessible to people. Got the paperback version. This was a kickstart. Alan Barr and his company have been on fire lately with Tiny D6 and many more systems. Hope to get this to the table too. Let's see if I can get to this here. My copy came with 2 modules. Chuck from the Defenders of Cobalt is not a fan of at least one of these modules. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Richard, how big is it? Well, got a ruler here. Let's see. It's in the 5x8 format, it looks like. Not a very dense book at all. If it follows most of the Tiny D6 rule system, it's going to be a very light, very simple game. But I hope to also get that to the table at some point. Okay, let's see. The D Sanction. I actually got this one about 2 weeks ago. Hardback book, very minimalistic outside. It's OSR gaming in the Tudor age, magic, alchemy, spell casting, all that fun stuff. You can use dice or a card deck or even a tarot deck, I believe. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to attract a group to play this one, but it is something I'd like to try out. Maybe I'll do some one shot with my wife and just report on how it goes if I can't get anyone else interested in that one. On the DCC front, Ninja City. A very short, sweet DCC game. If you've ever watched any of the horrible B-flick ninja movies um, from the 80s, early 90s, you know what you're in for. You are playing a team of ninjas set out on revenge. But of course, in modern day, all ninjas have day jobs. So there's a random chart to find out how you actually spend your days when you're not ninja-ing. Is that a verb? It's a verb now. Ninja-ing. To ninja. Let's see. This one also looks like a lot of fun. The D13 Rpg by Lester Smith. I got number 5 of 100 there. This was also a Kickstarter. I don't actually know about the system very much. It's a pretty book. I think this is in a 6x9 hardback, full color art. Again, that horror theme. To be honest, I backed it mostly because of the author. Lester Smith did a lot of early on role-playing games back from, early 70s and 80s that I really enjoyed. Don't Look Back. Horror game, one of my first after playing Call of Cthulhu was Lester Smith. It's a lot of fun. A couple of years ago, he did a Kickstarter for the D6 by D6 system. Very simple system. It was fun. We ran a few games of that. They were recorded on the podcast. I believe we used the Ghost Be Gone universe that we crib a lot for the different role-playing systems. I might be able to get a few people interested in this one. So maybe soon. Maybe soon. All right. And that's pretty much... Oh, no, one more thing. This is an eBay acquisition. Speaking of budget gaming. These books... Burning Wheel system. Burning Wheel Gold was basically a compilation of a lot of the early Burning Wheel supplements put into one book. I think about 3 years ago, they did a companion volume to this that had the blue foil cover that gave you a bunch of other options. I sold mine a while ago, and I regretted it ever since, and I found a great deal on eBay for both Burning Wheel and Burning Empires, which this is a comic property. Got a lot of, look at that art. That's some really wonderful art. Got a lot of press a while back. Dark Conspiracy by Lester Smith. Absolutely. I played a lot of that, and I guess that was actually in college we played that. It's a while ago. But Burning Empires uses the Burning Wheel system as well. Beautiful book, full color. Never owned this one because it was pricey. $45 list price, but I was never able to find this thing online for like less than $100. But apparently it's either gone down in value since, or I just really lucked out. I got both of these for $30. Free shipping too. So that was a great eBay find. Now for unboxing and the budget gaming I want to talk about. I love going to Target and Walmart and checking out their clearance racks, things that they've just never been able to sell, not selling well, or they've got to destroy and claim that off for tax purposes. A lot of times, these are deals that you will not find on the websites, so checking your own local shops for these things is always a good idea. These were, $45, I want to say, retail. I got them for $19 a piece. Had a few Target coupons, so I got a little bit less than that. So, mostly I do RPGs. So why do I bother with board games? Well, when it ever happens again that I can have a live group, sometimes these board games have really useful parts for role-playing games in them. Things that can be used inspirationally, things that can be used as bits of diorama at the table, handouts, or even miniatures. So let's see if $20 was worthwhile for this thing. So this is Space Marine Adventures the Labyrinth of the Necrons. So this is another Warhammer property. It's kind of a dumbed down Space Hulk, from what I can tell. So let's see what's in the box. If I remember right, this was actually a Target exclusive for a while. There are this Labyrinth of the Necrons. There were other games based on this that sold in multiple markets, but I think Target for a while there were the only ones that you could find this in. Alright, so nothing interior on the box. We have the Warhammer games catalog, all games that I just, yeah, they're probably a lot of fun, but just too rich for my wallet. Alright, rule book, fairly thin, full color. As I see it, this game can be played either with a friend and you're competing against the board, or as a solo game, it looks like. I guess if you're really wanting to get that taste for Space Hulk, this might be a light version of that. Okay, so components. Cardstock is not great. It's not really thick. Maybe half the size of the Fantasy Flight tokens. So we have corridor pieces, it looks like. They do come out easy. That's one thing I love. A lot of times when these are not done well, tear the graphic right off the edges there. These look like they came out all right. All right, so let's see here. We got 2 board pieces. This looks like one giant board piece. Okay. Another one, double-sided. The board's different on each side. And another one. There's not a great deal of variety here to your Space Hulk, it looks like. Okay. What do we got next? We've got a pouch. Little cloth pouch for your cards, it looks like. A number of colored dice. Oh, interesting colors. Nothing special about them though. The 1s and 6-sided aren't stamped with anything special. But neat colors though. I like that off gray. They're probably, I'm not a big Space Marine guy, but I'm willing to bet that these correspond to Space Marine chapters. Okay, let's see. Got some cards. We'll open these in a minute. A few plastic bags. Looks like these are for the tokens. Oh, big cards. Oh yeah, and the miniatures themselves. Okay, so this looks like it is the current scale of Space Marine miniatures. Again, not a huge Warhammer guy, but I do see them a lot in our local hobby store. Let's see what they're stamped. They're actually, yeah, they are made by Games Workshop. They've got their stamp on the sprue there, so these are Games Workshop miniatures. There's another sprue. Put that up in there. Looks like each sprue is one Space Marine. So it looks like you get 5 Space Marines. Willing to bet that if you're buying a model of a Space Marine, each one of these are probably a couple of bucks. So these alone, not bad if you want a Space Marine miniature. And so that's the end of the box. Nothing else in there. All right, so let's look at these cards. Open now. So let's start here. They appear to want me to start here. Okay, looks like there's a couple of different card types in here. So it looks like we have character cards. I don't know if you can see that well. I do not have a great camera for this. It's supposed to autofocus, but it doesn't really look like it does. Alright. Looks like there are event cards as well. Yeah, Richard. Could be a scripted deck to get you started. The icons on these cards must mean something as well. So that's the back. And then I assume these are Space Marine chapter. That's the Ultramarines. I remember that anyway. And that's probably the Necron symbol. So maybe that's initiative, perhaps? Tells you who goes next. And again, your character cards. Pretty nice cards as far, they're pretty thick. Art goes edge to edge, bleeds all the way, which is nice. I mean, I could see using these as kind of like just a deck of inspiration. They have different, guess, encounters or descriptions on each card. I could use that to maybe generate an adventure with. Alright, so that's the big cards. What else we got here? Level 2, Advanced, Level 1, and Level 3. Well, let's start with Level 1. These are probably missions, I'm gonna bet. Do not open. Well, we've done that. Yes, that's exactly what they are. I'm sure you cannot read that, but it is your mission brief. So it comes with 4 missions overall, a beginner mission and 3 other missions. Useful. I am not going to open these other ones, but let's open this advanced one. Let's see what the advanced one is all about. Oh, the tray's actually quite nice. You can keep all your level cards separated there. And it's even got this little thing up here where I guess, let's see, perhaps it's meant to put the current, I don't know, thing in there. Again, this game is billed as being solo play as well, so nice tray to keep things organized. Let's see what these advanced cards are about. So, with Lester Smith's Dark Conspiracy that was brought up in chat, I understand they've been trying to get a new edition of that going. Like, it was a failed Kickstarter. It might have made it on, I'm not sure what the other one is called, but there's several other platforms like Kickstarter where you don't necessarily have to make your goal, and whatever people put in at the time, the creator keeps. I think it did fund on one of those, but it's been kind of in limbo. I know the property's changed hands a few times, and at this point I don't think Lester has anything to do with it anymore. But yeah, the old school Dark Conspiracy was a lot of fun. There was a really nice board game called Minion Hunter That was a lot of fun too. I own that one. I've never got it to the table, but I've watched it played a few times. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dark Conspiracy definitely has a new edition. I just don't know what the if it's been printed, if the PDFs are out. I just know that the property did change hands a few times while they're trying to get the funding for it. So I don't know if that's in limbo or not. Okay, so these advanced cards. Looks like threats, items. Yeah, a lot of items in here too. So maybe these are things you can pick up with experience that you earn after each mission. This looks like it's a simple enough board game that I can probably break this out with a guest and see how it actually plays. But all right, so was it worth $20 for the parts? You know, when I do these shopping in Target and Walmart, and I'm looking for these board games that are clearance priced, you know, that's what I'm looking for. Is there stuff in here that I could use for tabletop gaming? Well, you know, for $20, what did I get? 5 dice, basic D6, but nice colors. 5 Warhammer Space Marines. I mean, not bad. Suppose I could even throw those back up on eBay if I wanted to. The tiles are a bit more interesting. I could probably do something with this as terrain. Keyed areas, I don't know. I could probably use this as something on the tabletop. Cards, inspirational purposes, have some use. I don't know. I would. I don't know if there's a lot in here that I could reuse at the table. A few things that would be nice. The game itself, the reviews online say it's fun. It's quick taste of the Space Hulk kind of universe. Certainly, I think if it ends up being a decent game, I'm not going to cry too much about spending $20 on it. Of course, I didn't spend $20 on it because they had more than one on the shelf. So I spent $40 and got another one. This one I'll probably just not open. Maybe somewhere down the line it'll be worth something, and this might make it to eBay at some point in time. Do a lot of that too. I'll scout games on clearance and mark down and hang on to them. Occasionally you'll see the prices go up again. Hey Chuck, nice to see you around. Just doing a little chill stream tonight, talking about what's in the mail, some games I found in stores. This one, $20 on Target. Normal price is $40. Looks like it might be a fun game. Speaking of fun games, let's get all this plastic out of the way here. Got to put my dice bag back in that box. That's got to be worth $1, right? This was something I picked up on eBay. This is the newest version of Paranoia. We got the introduction box and an expansion box, I guess is what one is. Paranoia, I have a lot of history with this game. This was the beer and pretzel game in college. We played a lot of Paranoia. If there was a game more designed to make you hate your friends, I don't know what was better at that than Paranoia. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Paranoia, the idea is you play one character, but your character has clones. You are encouraged to inform on and get your buddies killed. Paranoia is in the far future where a rogue AI is running a human colony that's, well, in a safe dome or some such environment. And you're all clones, upteenth generation clones. And so the cloning process has gone a little awry, and mutation has developed amongst the clones. Of course, mutants are deemed by the artificial intelligence to be illegal and unwanted and warranted to kill. So you all are mutants, but you can't let your buddies know that because it's punishable by death. Now, the interesting thing about that is that your clones don't inherit let's call them the legal ramifications of what your prior self did. So even though your prior self was a mutant traitor, your clone has to be proven to be a mutant traitor before you're just outright killed. And one of the stories from my college paranoia days that stays with me the most is this one player, Kyle, who was just the most easy to get along guy. I always played characters that were easy to get along. His character in Paranoia was no different. He was always very helpful. He never did anything that would directly harm the other players, but through the whole mission, he had as one of his shtick or gimmick items, which every character had, he had a ball. He had a huge bucket of cheese balls. And every opportunity, he would offer the other player characters a cheese ball. Well, by the end of the mission, and this mission was definitely one where one character was going to get the reward and everyone else was going to get the shaft. It ended up being him and 3 other newly minted clones that were coming to the end. He turns to the GM and says, in a complete deadpan, "I detonate the cheese balls." Best move ever. That college gaming nights of alcohol-fueled gaming, man, best nights of my life. Best nights of my life. Really enjoyed those times. But Paranoia, the new version, lots of bits and pieces, but easily translated to a VTT. I've already been working on getting the cards, getting the forms and everything put on, using Foundry, Forge. So like this is your character sheet, which of course is an identity form that you must fill out in triplicate. Easy to translate these onto VTT. This box is actually quite nice. As I understand it, this was also published through a Kickstarter, as well as all of the other editions that came with it. Really nice done. I think it's Mongoose Publishing did this. Let's take a look here real quick. Mongoose did the prior version of Paranoia 2, which I did not like, but I am liking this one. Let's see, who is this one made by? It is, in fact, Mongoose Publishing. But reading through the rules, it is very different than the last version. Things are very streamlined, very simple, card-based character creation mechanic, which again, it was very easy to turn that into a VTT thing. So hopefully, this guy will get to the table soon as well. Something else I'd like to run this year. And I'm kind of making a list of like my top 10 that I really want to try and get to the table. Games that I've been sitting on for a while. Old games that I kind of grew up with and just kind of fondly remember. Like to get back. Play with some people who may have never played them before. Just kind of relive some of those old games. So don't quite have the list broken out yet, but several on there. Some of the ones I've showed you tonight and others coming. Masters of the Universe, the He-Man role-playing game using the Cortex system. I want to play that one so bad. That was Saturday cartoon, big bowl of cereal. I was a latchkey kid, so that's how I spent a lot of my Saturdays when my folks were away. Big old bowl of sugar-encrusted cereal, hours of cartoon watching. Man, you just don't get that these days. Awesome stuff. All right, well, there's not a lot more I wanted to show you out there. Not a lot going on in chat. So I guess we will end this here now. Guys, this is budget gaming on the cheap, or budget gaming is an article that I'm putting in my patron newsletter sort of thing, which, yes, is very late. Last month's is not out yet. This month's is mostly written. I had a little problem with art I paid for and it never materialized. That kind of really bummed me out. So I had to hunt down new art and did some new layout for it, so that just kind of delayed everything. But should be on track. Subscribers, I've got a list of everybody that subscribed last month and this month. I'll make sure you've got access to them. But other than that, that's really all I got for tonight. Chuck, Defenders of Kobold, Two Old Guys Gaming. I hope you had a lot of fun out in the forest this weekend. It seems like Chuck at least made it back alive. Now, I haven't heard from anyone else. So, yeah, maybe Chuck's our final girl in this scenario. Is that what happened, Chuck? Were you the final girl? All right. Well, guys, that's all I got. Just chill stream for the night. Glad to talk to you guys about some of the things I've been excited about and have gotten in the mail. So I'm going to sign off. Have a great Sunday.